extremely hot afternoon in West Africa's Freetown, Sierra Leone. 60% of the country was still controlled by the rebels, but the 10-year war over blood diamonds was slowly coming to an end. Soldiers were being disarmed and brought into UN peacekeeping camps. Refugees from all over the country were pouring into the capital city. Survivors of brutal amputation and children displaced from their parents. Both the government and rebel forces used amputation as a tactic for fear and control over the population. There seemed to be no mercy for this horrific demonstration of war. Young and old people alike were subjected to having one or both arms chopped off. In some cases, sons were forced to commit the grotesque act on their parents. Forgiveness affirms that both the victim and the oppressor are loved by God. Forgiveness as an intellectual or spiritual concept is one thing, but when treated unfairly or when we or others are victimized, how can we live the way of forgiveness? How can injustice, suffering, and pain be transformed? Contemplative prayer makes the way for us to grow into forgiveness of ourselves and others. The primary distinction of contemplative prayer is that it's characterized by silence, solitude, and stillness. While Scripture doesn't necessarily give us explicitly prescribed methods of contemplative prayer, the principles of prayer characterized by silence, solitude, and stillness are found throughout the Hebrew and Christian texts. Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. Lamentations 3:24-28, Yahweh is all I have, I cry, so I will wait in patience. The Most High is good to those who hope in God, to all who seek God's presence. It is good to wait patiently for Yahweh to set us free. Let those who bear such a burden sit in silence. In Luke 5:16, we're told that Jesus often withdrew to solitary places. And in Matthew 26:41, Jesus says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. These are only a few of the texts that speak to solitude, silence, and stillness as critical practices for prayer. With Scripture as our foundation, we can then look to Christian tradition where we find several contemplative practices in the writings of church fathers and mothers and theologians and mystics. Practices that you've maybe heard of, such as Lectio Divina, centering prayer, the Jesus prayer, the prayer of examen. Secondly, contemplative prayer is not primarily focused on changing other people or circumstances, but chiefly concerned with changing me and how I approach and respond to people and various challenges of life.